Hello, my name is Bryce Lidke, and I'm the current chair of the Topeka Youth Commission. As you're getting ready to watch our video for our September meeting month, for some reason our Zoom video cut out the first 10 or so minutes. So I'm just really quickly going to summarize for you what happened so that way you don't miss out on that information. So before the meeting even started, we had a few members show up early, about 30 minutes early, to create cat toys for the Humane Society. That was a project that Amelia was working on, and we had a really good turnout for that. At 6 p.m., we called the meeting to order. From there, we went ahead and approved last month's minutes with a few changes. And then this month's agenda, we went ahead and approved with the changes of adding a section under new business for the purposes of filling out the Greater Topeka Partnership survey for Momentum 2022, and also adding a subtopic under Mackenzie Gritman's Community Involvement Task Force for another project she was talking about. And you'll get to hear her talk about that in a little bit. So after that, we went into our committee reports. I was the first to report. My report was pretty simple. At previous meetings, I kind of had a pep talk with all of our members to get more engaged. We were having some issues with people slacking off and others doing 200% of the work and others doing 0%. And so we wanted to get everybody pulling their weight. And so my talk or my report for this month was telling everybody good job, because we had a lot of people step up and really get their work done. So I was really proud of everybody, and that's what my report consisted of. After that, Elaine Bunton talked about the Youth Development Fund at the Stay 785 grant that we were doing. So basically, the Topeka Community Foundation has granted the Youth Commission $10,000 that we are then able to grant out to other organizations and other youth in the community for them to fulfill their project and their wants. And so the theme is Stay 785, basically anything that will cause youth to want to stay in Topeka. So any projects with beautification, making murals, programs, organizations, anything that is involved with the Stay 785. So Elaine went into depth on that. If you have any questions about that grant, I know we'll definitely be talking about it, and you will be seeing things posted on our social media, and a lot of information will be coming out about it. If you have any questions, feel free to email us, topeakayouthcommission@gmail.com. Elaine and I would be more than happy to give you more details about that, but be looking at our social media, as we will be posting more information about it. And then Elaine, the treasurer, also the chair of the finance committee, also talked about how we are going to advertise for the Youth Development Fund and that grant process. So it's really important that we get the information out there so that we can get as many youth applications as possible. So that way we can grant that $10,000 as effectively and diversely as possible. The next report was Renee Cabrera with the local government committee. Lorraine, our vice chair, also presented in this section. Renee talked about the Shawnee County voter engagement, which was mainly the two meetings he had, which during those meetings conducted over Zoom, we really tried to get as many different organizations that were concerned with voting in Shawnee County and voter engagement, and really tried to increase those two areas. So he talked about the two meetings we had and the different responses he had from that group. Overall, really positive, and we're starting to see a lot more connections being formed with the Shawnee County voter engagement. After that, he talked about the Top City Youth Council, which is the government section of the government subcommittee. It's the part that's within the mayor's youth council. They held a meeting via Zoom this quarter, and that was relatively unsuccessful. There was very little communication. And so they were kind of disappointed in that, but they also realized that whenever we do meetings on Zoom, for some reason, just that not having that face-to-face interaction, the conversation level just decreases tremendously. So they noticed that moving forward and are going to make the necessary changes for the upcoming months. And then also they are starting to partner with the social media committee in creating candidate bios. So what that's going to look like is with the upcoming voter elections, the elections that are coming up in November, we realize there might be a lot of misinformation or people might be overwhelmed with the information. So we are creating candidate bios, which is really simply going to put what the candidate stands for and what the race is for. So for example, the presidential race, it would have President Trump and Joe Biden on the same sheet, and it would just go through and list what their values are, what they are for, what they are against, and issues, especially those that are pertinent to youth, and where the candidate stands. So it's going to be a really easy way for people to see what the candidates, who the candidates are for each race, and what the candidates in that race, what their platforms are, and what their belief system is. So if you have any questions about that portion of the meeting, that's the part that got cut off, please feel free to email us. I would be happy to give you more information. By emailing topekayouthcommission@gmail.com, you will get connected to any one of the exec team members. We all have that email. So if you have any questions, if it's government related, just address your email to Oscar. If it's about the voter engagement, if it's about government or voter engagement, direct those to Renee Cabrera. If it's about the treasurer or the grant, direct those to Elaine. And then if you have questions about my section, you can just email me. But all of the Youth Commission exec team, if you have any questions, just email topekayouthcommission@gmail.com. Without further ado, I will go ahead and transfer us over to our meeting. You may see a little bit of Renee's section, the government section, ending, and then we will go into Oscar's subcommittee, and then the rest should be filmed just fine. So if you have any questions, let me know. Enjoy our meeting then. Thanks.